Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, and it feels tiring, but what Monday doesn't? How's everyone doing today? I hope you all are well, and if not, I do hope things do get better for you. It has been a bit since I've shown off the world overall. Keep music like here. I don't know how it's gonna sound with this because it's been a while since we did this world. So I haven't updated these maps, but I thought I might as well mention this. Also, before I do this, it's gonna lag a little. Because I want to show stuff off. So I've actually thought about expanding these maps to the maps to the max capacity for several reasons. But I want to show off some of the stuff I have done, starting with the most important thing and biggest project that I have done since last time. I have terrained this whole area. I added more to the museum. I just need to texture like the rocks and add trees. Maybe add some green wool to the ground. I don't know for sure, but I've added all sorts of texturing with grass paths, packed mud. Um, and I mined out the entire side of the mountain here. This is where most of it went. I just haven't cleaned up. Like, what isn't in these chests has been used for the terraforming. Um, but it also means one of the things I plan to do is I didn't light up under there, so mobs are a big issue. I also mapped out another wing that I want to add to the museum, and I'm debating if I want to keep those windows. But I also over here kind of mapped out most of a cliff face I want to do over here that'll have this go down into like an underwater cove, an underground cove. And I want to basically take the river like over against this and kind of expand it. But I want to terraform like this entire like mound and whatnot. Um, that's why I turned up my video settings so I could show you. Um, with the new Happy Gas stuff coming out, I've actually had some ideas, but I also want to like take parts of this normal mountain and just completely redo it as well to make it look more like natural and fancy. And like take this for example. Whoa, that's a mine shaft? I actually did not know there was a mine shaft down here. If there is a cave spider spawner, I think I might make a spider farm personally. But what I was gonna say is I want to add like some big cliffs and gullies. I want to make this more of a rocky area. So, one of the things I did is I designed some aspens because aspens fall under a lot of that area. I want to clear out this village and like completely remove it. The other thing, I did die. I've died to kinetic energy several times and falling since last stream. I'm just gonna outright say it. I died quite a bit. Um, next important thing. I can show this off from above. I filled in these, so now they are all not only spawn proof, but the outside is finished. In here, we have our sheep and stuff. Nothing's really changed. I don't remember if I showed it off last stream or if I made it between, but now there is also a melon farm. The next thing I've actually debated doing is removing this chicken farm. And while we're over here, you'll notice this used to be carrots, it's now wheat. And in here, there is now another staircase because down here, one of my more recent additions is a villager farm that farms up like it farms up everything except I was hoping it'd give me wheat instead of bread. So one of my thoughts was maybe I should make an auto wheat farm for more packed mud because I needed wheat for packed mud. Um But on top of that, oh, it's turning night again. I also did a little bit of work in here. I built a bamboo farm right there. Over here, I built this morning. I just need to add bone meal, but this is for like dyes and stuff, and then I need to put like a hopper system under it. And then I have an Ilmango farm right here. It's for mud. Put dirt in here, water bottles in here, practically automatic dirt mud. And I could try and set some stuff, but back here I have it so it gets all auto-crafted all down into bamboo planks because we're going to need them for stuff. But also, if I so choose, I can expand this from the 64 that it is to a full-on, like, multi-level bamboo farm that we could turn into a thing for a full-on auto smelter and auto fuel. That's the main stuff I did. I also went into the nether and did a little work, but also the sea turtles, I was like, I need to put them somewhere. So I managed to get them in here, and I named them. You got Kerma, which is one of the many names for the world turtle. Little fun fact. And then Donatello, for some reason, loves to be up on, like, the ceiling. I don't know why. But he's been doing that ever since. Just loves the ceiling. He was originally over here. But there's been a few things I've been debating what I want to add. I'm also going to quickly sleep. Then I don't have to deal with any phantoms, because I've been doing stuff. The main things, though, I've just shown you. But with up here, I want to update the maps and whatnot. And I'm debating making them bigger. And there's a reason behind it. I want to map out more of this world, and I wrote down here an atlas. So we're going to have a key for an atlas, where different banner colors will mean different things. And the base is going to be white until I basically can change it, is my thought. And I want to go through each of these areas, and I want to remap them. Like, full, like, new maps and whatnot. Not just this. Like, because this is 3 of 4, I want to make 4 of 4 maps so we can see even more of the world. And then we can use, like, 1 or 2 of 4 maps for, like, little areas. The other thing I designed, and I don't think I have the dye for it. Yeah, I don't have enough yellow dye, so I'm just gonna quickly show this off in creative. I was designing an aspen tree. This is what I'm going to do around the museum, are aspens like this. And of course, some of it's being held up by string, there's candles, but you'll notice birch and bamboo are some big ones I've used quite a bit of, as well as yellow glass panes, glass, yellow concrete powder, yellow wool, which we have a lot of, yellow concrete, glazed terracotta of the yellow type, and yellow candles. My plan is to also, and then of course you got some diorite and birch mixed in. But this is kind of my idea of one thing I want to do. And you can't just put one aspen down. If you're going to put multiple aspens down, it counts as one organism. So I'm going to have to if I'm going to do it. Where's my diorite? It's been a while. Okay, I'm going to use this to mark out where I kind of want to put, like, aspens. Also, hello there, Cruel. Hope you're doing well today. I'm going to basically mark out everything I want to do in terms of aspen placement. So aspens live in more mountainous, rocky type climates. Gonna place these bits of birch where I want to put them. Not birch, diorite. And then once we get all the aspens in, I basically want to put down a bunch of like foliage and stuff, and we'll make custom foliage. Doing well, realize some happy realizations. That's good. And then I can do, because like then there'll be stuff like this, but I'll probably add like little root bits. But I need to keep them like relatively good space, but not too far space, because of how Aspen's root network works, being basically like a giant multi-organism. It's honestly really cool. I think this one should move to here. But I want this to feel like an actual forest of aspen. Because with all this diorite and stuff, I can at least mark out where I plan to put them. And it'll give me a better idea of how it will look, because I can actually visualize this stuff relatively well. You'll also notice I used mud brick to look like the dirt is kind of going up a little more on some of these rocks. It is a really great trick I learned from Good Times with Scar, like a long time ago from watching his videos. Like, I am so happy I've been learning more about terraforming since the whole project I started with the botanical garden a long time ago, before I basically semi-finished it. I might restart it back up, honestly, is one of the thoughts I had, just because it might be fun to add like the new stuff. I also had another idea of a hanger to put in a happy ghast. I certainly will hydrate. Even then, I'm not sure 100% that 2 stacks will be enough for this, because I know we're gonna need like shulkers of stuff, because aspens grow like, if I grab a picture of aspen, I can kind of show what aspens look like. So aspens grow in very specific ways. Save image, aspen. And I go here, I can then do this, replace the Adiana photo with aspen. So aspen trees look like this. If you look, they have higher foliage, but they also have a very birchy look. They basically work like a, well, macroorganism. They can somewhat live by themselves, but they're basically one living organism with how they work as trees. It's honestly so cool, and I highly recommend looking into like the whole thing from like actual professionals. But when doing stuff like this, I always try to research, okay, what trees grow in these areas. Conifers are the most common type of tree in rocky type climates, rocky mountainous climate. You're more likely to see conifers like spruce and fir and juniper. Sleep well, Cruel. I will be here doing this. And it's good to know, like, okay, how do these trees grow? What do they grow in? What shapes do they take? How weird do they look? Interesting may they look? And like, what are the different variants, and how do the different variants grow in these different climates? So that's why I went with aspen. I think it's a very interesting tree type that fits the climate that I'm going for with this. It allows me to make a custom biome, and it also allows me to flex my brain a bit more on designing. I am also going to need a lot more diorite, because, mind you, we do not have a lot of fucking Endermen. I filled these in. I know I did. These Endermen here that you see inside the blocks for some fucking reason. Enderman basically, because I forgot to light up under this, they've been stealing all sorts of blocks, and it's driving me insane. Like, if it was one or two small ones, like, that's one thing, but I've seen them take the blocks. That's how I know they're taking the blocks. And it annoys the living hell out of me. Because it's like, bro, these are my blocks. So actually, I'm also going to grab some glowstone. Don't worry about it. I get it. Ow. It's okay if you're not always here. I don't feel like everyone needs to be here 100% of the time every stream. I think that's a toxic way to look at it for like your own health, but also like for people's health in general. People will grow and enjoy things and then eventually fall out at times. Sometimes they won't. But even then, time zones are a thing, and sometimes you don't have the time to watch till later. I mean, there's a reason I made the VOD channel. Like, everything has its own reason for existing, and it's why I created that. I wanted to make it more accessible to the people who can't really be here all the time, but also make it accessible for people who might not watch Twitch as much and want to find new stuff. Sometimes you just need to look around. And I will expand the terrain of this a bit more. And these are going to be buildings. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of teeter off the aspens around there. Maybe add like one up or two up here. Because they can grow in odd ways, but I basically want to make this feel alive, but also keep the integrity of the builds and how they'll look on the mountain. And you can see I put a lot of work into this. I added grass paths to look a bit, give a little more of that kind of like rock meets dirt and stone look. Because like, damn pigs. And actually, I'm going to move this one to here. And then I'm going to move this one to here. Like, whenever I place stuff in this game, I feel like I always have to, it has to be placed with purpose. And if it doesn't feel right, I have to move it. That's just kind of how I feel with it. I am weird in that regard, I guess. But I really do love being able to just make my own forests and stuff. I think it's so cool that it's even a possibility. Let me just quickly go in here, and I can actually show you. If you look, I started that roof part, and I marked out stuff. I finished the frickin' fencing stuff, too. I've done a lot with this. But yeah, after we place down all the diorite to figure out where I'm going to put all the aspens, because I want to keep them so they don't take away from the museum as well. So I'm not going to... So, like, around here, they're going to start tapering off. But they grow in a very dense way in most areas, and that's, like, the thing. Because no matter what, some of the leaves and foliage are going to, like, combine together in certain areas. And that's not something I can control, because that's how they actually grow. Like, I could make it not do that, but that would just be unrealistic. And I feel like that's important to remember with it, is I'm going for a bit of realism with how these grow. Hey, Billion Doge, welcome on in. I am placing down diorite for where I plan to put my aspens, because the base of them I have made out of diorite. Because I am going to make an aspen forest in front of our museum for my forever world. I've decided that the vanilla world that I've been using on stream here and there, we haven't streamed it in a long time, but also I might as well make it a forever world at this point. Still got 2 stacks. Because I mean, I've been playing on this world since when I first started, and I might as well because I do enjoy it. Yeah, aspen trees are really cool because they are just a giant macroorganism in a way. Like they all can simultaneously like they could live by themselves within reason. Um but they enjoy climates of rocky mountainous, but also if there's been forest fires and stuff, they're some of the first trees that seem to pop up from what I've noticed in terms of like areas that they are. A lot of them have high forest fire potential, funnily enough. So one thing I might do, and this is something I really wish I knew more about, and that's glass work. I would love to try and learn how to do good glass work so I could make a flaming one. No, this is completely vanilla. This is my vanilla forever world. I have been playing on this since I first started streaming. Um, and one thing I decided was we were gonna make a museum for stuff. I mean, the only reason I have it is because I've kept it just vanilla. I have thought about adding like basic tweak mods, like simple things like control, the mouse thing that basically just mouse tweaks. Give me a sec. I really hate those because it's like, why? Like, let me just quickly add that to let me just quickly add that to my frickin' um list because whenever this stuff happens, I always just am like, okay, time to add to the moderation banned phrases list because it's like it's so annoying. Plus, I doubt anyone's gonna use Boost Runner anytime outside that. I will say there also is like Minecraft stuff going on with drops, and I don't turn them off because honestly, I couldn't care less. Plus, I don't mind getting like free drops from just streaming because I unironically, by having the modding thing up, get free drops from my own Minecraft streams, which I find hilarious. Um, but yeah, I had debated like some of those mods like that just make vanilla like and tweak it to make it just a bit more like nice and whatnot. I don't want to use too many aspens here because it's gonna have a greenhouse there, is what I'm gonna do. So I'm kind of keeping them to this little area here. We're down to our last stack of diorite. We'll have to grab more most likely. And this is how much I got from just terraforming that mountain. Do I have actually do I have any diorite in here? Like I literally moved our beacon from our main area to here, turned it to haste for a while, and then moved it back because I was like, yeah. It was one of those types of feelings for it. But I love aspen trees. I think they are such a cool tree. They just have a lot of intrigue and interest behind them for me. And normally, like, if we look at this, look how close together they usually seem to grow. Like, not the farthest, but it's also, like, this is kind of like the edge of the aspen forest, so certain parts are going to be a little more scattered compared. Like, I want to add those types of areas that just feel a little more scattered, and, like, some that are more dense and whatnot, like an actual forest. And since it basically is freaking giant organism, might as well make it look cool too. That's how I look at it. Okay. And then I also want to keep a bit of that nice field of view ability with some of these buildings. And then I also need to light up under the terraining, and I will show you why. Honestly, it may not be seen a lot, but I do want to add them like here and here, here. An organism. Like a living thing. I mean, that was basic biology. Oh, I read that as organism and not orgasm. Yeah, I am a huge fan of just plants and like how some of them work. I mean, you kind of get that way when you're like me and you do like some gardening stuff. And these fucking Endermen. Sorry. They just piss me off at this point. Because you see them take your blocks. And that's the one thing I've thought about, like, going in, figuring out how to affect the NBT data of stuff just to turn off Enderman griefing. Nothing else, just Enderman griefing. Because Endermen are so annoying. Let's see if there's any, like, big spots. Like right there. Yeah, like right here needs some. Put one here, one here. And I could always add, like, oh, this one actually could move to about here. Now let's take a look at this. And also up the video settings temporarily. Quickly go up. Oh yeah, you can see how this forest is gonna look just from that alone. Like, look at that. Oh, that's gonna work. And now I can turn my video settings back down to 9 like I normally do. Anyways, let's grab some dirt. And let's go find some holes. Alls I know for sure is I want to patch up holes. But I also need to get under this in a safe way that I can get in and out without having to fly through tiny holes. Okay. Like, Endermen are such a nuisance for this. There it is. Okay, so I think how we... And you'll notice how dark it gets here because I haven't done, like, lighting. Holes the movie. Honestly, it feels that way some days. Okay, so I'm gonna dig through here. No creeper. Oh my good lord. Let's just quickly sleep. So they burn. Yeah, there's water, but then we can make sure that it's not as bad. Hey, look, I caught the arrow. I caught the arrow. Play series not a single person could ever think of. You'd be surprised what people think of, but then again, you'd also be surprised what people don't think of. It wasn't until recently that people thought of, wait a minute, we could make fans out of redstone for decor. Oh my god! I'm do I am surprised that didn't kill me until the blow up. Do I have I'm gonna need a shield for this. I need to light up so much in there. I made a farm unintentionally. Oh, I don't need to lose my stuff. Not for a third time. I mean, the amount of times I've lost my stuff in this. Okay, I need to get out quick so I can put on my armor and crap. Okay. Oh. Fortune, silk, that. My torches, axe, shovel, golden carrots. Jesus Christ. Look at all these zombies. Also, I can see where there's holes. I don't know how that bounced off. There's more on my glowstone. Shoot the zombie. Come on. Like, dear God. Holy crap. And I'm on fire. Because why wouldn't I be? And I basically just need to cover up these things a bit and just light up where I can to make sure nothing spawns. I don't care if I go overboard with this. I need to make sure it's safe. Okay. Like, look at this. It's actually insane how dark it is. Like, the amount of Endermen. You can see what I mean by they've been an issue. Huh. I always wondered if a skeleton could get mad at an Enderman and vice versa. Apparently not. That's a shame. Would have been hilarious, though. Boom. And then boom. Yeah, you can see the sheer amount of like work I put in and like what I covered up. Honestly, Jesus. They're under the same umbrella. Pansexual and bi are under the same umbrella, but they are different. There's a lot more to it, but right now, I am not a gender or social science major or anything. I don't know the full ins and outs of like the entire history of it. Otherwise, I'd totally give a full lesson on it. I just haven't cared enough to look into the full history of it because there's a lot of stuff that happens. I mean, gender is just a social construct when you think about it. It's just a social construct by bathroom companies to sell more bathrooms. And you can't convince me otherwise. Jesus Christ. I mean, when you think about it though, that's not true. That would fall under sex. And even then, that's a whole separate thing because sex is dictated through chromosomes, which chromosomes can be varied beyond what you would believe. So in reality, it's a lot more like you get into a lot more like biology into that because that stuff is dictated by chromosomes because you also have people who can be born with everything the male body has but no penis. You have intersex. You have people and like there is the rare genetic condition that can happen where you're born with no genitalia like at all. Like there's all sorts of stuff that goes into it. And even then, like with Jesus Christ, that's a lot of creepers. Like it's a very long one. What'd you wake up to? Welcome on in 22. Um we're talking about the whole like stuff behind gender and sex and the differences, but also how fluid it actually is. While I light up underground under my terraforming because I forgot to do so earlier. And it has gotten out of hand where Endermen are becoming a huge issue. I think that's a pretty good summary. But when it comes down to it, so much dictates like every part of our body and the amount of chromosomes that go into what we perceive as sex or gender that in reality, if we were to do it, there would be hundreds, if not thousands, of different combinations because it also affects stuff like those same chromosomes can affect stuff like do you produce enough of this chemical? Do you not? Do you produce this chemical or not? Because it can mean you could be a like full on thing of just okay, so they look like this, but in reality, they produce more of this, or ah, I'm okay, I think. But like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it that is so deep that a like it's one of those things where you should ask a professional more because they have a lot more answers than I do. Like, I just know basic advanced biology because I took advanced bio. I learned it in high school, like about how much that stuff dictates. And then you got genetics, which is a whole other thing. Genetic science is something I was like, oh, that would be a pain in the ass to go into. Good thing I didn't. I just happened to go into the brain and stuff. In reality, because we're a very social, humans are very social creatures, we instinctively try to class things into groups. Ow. And by classing things into groups, we miss out on a lot of important parts of that as well, such as we class things that can't fully be classed as well. Like, for example, everyone has an entirely different mental state, no matter how similar they are. Everyone has different genes, no matter how similar they are. Everyone has different personalities, etc. Like, you can't put them in one or two categories in reality, but we still do, because that's just how we do things because of societal structures and whatnot. When in reality, it's all the frickin' gray mess where we don't even understand the half of it, and we're just going off random bits of and pieces that we do know, some of which we don't even know enough about to fully comprehend the true extents of. Like, we still don't fully know everything about the brain or how the body reacts to certain things. I mean, there's a reason ethics boards and whatnot exist as well, but that goes into a long, and I mean long, history of abuses and whatnot. And these fucking zombies. Anyways, as I was saying, like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in terms of, like, history and why certain things came to be the way they did. And gender is, and sex is just one of those things that, while it became a huge, like, talking point in reality, like, that stuff has existed and been a social construct this entire time that eventually will disappear if we keep advancing our science, because of just how many options there. Ow! Where are all of the creepers coming from? I get zombies. Why are there so many Endermen? Why? Like, you can see some of them have trapped themselves under blocks. But it's such a fluid thing that it kind of breaks a lot of what society has established. And humans are one thing, if not creatures of repetition and a need for understanding. Because one of the biggest fears is the fear of the unknown. Not knowing something is terrifying to a lot of people, or not understanding something. It's how things like homophobia, for example, could be remedied, is through knowledge and learning. I mean, in the end, there's so much we have yet to learn about our own bodies. Yet, we've existed for God knows how long at this point. So it's kind of a thing of, at what extent is it to that point of we just accept it? Because in reality, I doubt we'd ever accept it. Let's be honest here. Humans aren't known to accept things like that. I mean, just look at history as a great example. But if there's a one thing I also know, it's that there's so much that goes in to so many pieces of our brains that we still don't even know the half of. And the same goes with our genetics and our chromosomes and everything. I mean, when you think about it, stuff like penicillin, I believe it was. I believe it was penicillin, but I might be wrong. I remember there was. I'm trying to remember. I think it was penicillin, but I might be wrong, where a scientist accidentally screwed up a petri dish and mold grew, and they found that it actually could cure certain illnesses. And it's like, that happened by complete accident. And there's just some of those we have to wait for in terms of like some of our knowledge. Mistakes can breed creativity or even knowledge that we never thought. I mean, and it's the same with just how we look at things. If society is willing to admit, okay, this thing is a lot more complex as a whole, it's more likely to change over time. But changing the mind of every single person on the planet Earth is like trying to make a pig fly without any knowledge of pigs or how to make it fly. I mean, the most you could do is get it airborne for a bit. But even then, no matter what happens, not everyone's going to change, but society's overall opinion can change as things are more normalized and things are more known. I mean, science for decades has been just expanding and expanding, and oh my, look at all the dirt! I didn't place this. It's these fuckers. This is what I mean by they've been stealing all of my dirt. Like, these Endermen are a huge issue. But, I mean, as we do learn, it also means we grow. So, like, while gender is one of those things that's, like, very fluid and just a social construct, sex is a biological thing that is so broad that it's like putting it into two is like putting a dog and a cat separated and then putting foxes and coyotes and wolves as well in the same categories. It's not very effective for overall like understanding, because there's a lot of differences between dogs, cats, foxes, wolves, and coyotes that just by themselves, if they were all classed the same, wouldn't make sense. I think that's a good way to kind of explain it. Because I know that it's one of those things of, I've seen the sheer amount of like stuff people have believed, etc. I've seen a lot of things, nowhere near everything, because that would be impossible. But there is a lot that in this world has really changed. Oh, another shootout. Like, look at this. This isn't okay. This skeleton is a pain in my ass. Like, look at this. They're taking my moss. This was nowhere near as jagged before this. Like, the amount of Endermen that didn't despawn for some reason. Probably because they took blocks. Like, look at this. There's just so many. I will read that in just a second when I'm not surrounded by enemies. Okay. I need to light up this last bit. No! Ah! I swear to God. There. I'll do that. 5 years old. Okay. Let me just do this real quick. Oh my lord. Okay. As long as find the word dictionary. I have no idea what that is supposed to mean. Like, in all honesty. Okay. This should be the last lit up area we need. Like, that, what you just typed confused me a lot. But that also could be my brain just not working because it's like constant watch right now. Look at this. Okay, so that's like leads nothing. Brain not braining. Well, at least you told me. Okay. We need to clear out all. Look at this. And they keep taking my stuff too, which is annoying as hell. I don't know what's the worst part of this whole part. The fact that they've been taking all my stuff, or the fact of how bad they have left it, because it was nowhere near this when I left it. As long as I stare it directly in the eyes, it doesn't teleport. Good thing that they take Thorns damage, because holy crap. And boom. Okay. Is that all of them? I am going to light up every last pit. There's one more. I don't have a mace yet, but... Well, not on me. I have a mace in my ender chest, I think. And if not there, it's probably on a wall. With an item frame. There's still more! Okay. And the good part is this gets rid of some of the torches as well. Because torches can cause lag if there's too many. Little fun fact. Now. Okay. See an area that... Yep. Okay. I think I know where that is. It's up there. I don't know if that Enderman died. Little bro when he gets creative for 5 minutes. Honestly, I wish I could sometimes, because creative would make this 10 times easier to build and clean up the inside of, and I wouldn't need to worry. No, it's an alien. It is a alien species I created for D&D when I was a lot younger. A little bit of lore. Like, God, I don't even know how old it is at this point. I made it like so long ago. I can switch to wings now. I feel a little more comfortable doing that. Um, I probably am going to need a few more things, but over here I can now go not like that. I can go bop, 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 and no one will be the wiser except for me and everyone here. Let's see, did that affect this badly? Where the creeper blew? Probably. Okay, cool. It's hard to tell now. That's good. Let's go empty our inventory now. After that colossal hell that was, I might as well. But there's a whole, like, section of stuff behind why my Sona looks like this, and, like, the actual feelings that I have towards it after all of the stuff I have done with it. Because, like, I mean, this thing is so old at this point. In terms of, like, age and, like, how long I've had it. But in terms of, like, designs, this is the newest version of it I have. Like, I have a lot of different designs I have looked at, and it's crazy to me how many that I have at this point. Okay, ammo. Um, bone. Plants. No, wait, that would go into flower. Or would it go into seed and sapling? Okay, I've been putting them in seed and sapling. Good to know. Iron. Raw food stuff. And done. Okay, let's quickly sleep since it's turning nighttime. And then I can... I really think what I'm gonna do here is... I'm gonna start the mapping that I've been meaning to do. I'm gonna need more maps in the end, but I feel like this is a good place to kind of start. Like, look how different this looks at 1 scale versus scale 3. Imagine scale 4. 3, 4. Yeah, look how tiny it is. But basically what I want to do is I want to fill out these maps so that I can get an idea of like the sheer size of my world. But it also means I have to do this. And as I like do this real quick, this is going to basically be the center of the entire map room. Like the center 4 pieces. Oh, look. I wonder if that Enderman is from that area that I just, was at. Crazy part is there's still more to go with the other cliff when I decide to finish that. And boom. Now I can do this, and we can chalk up another set of stuff. I just want to fill out an entire map before I do something. But yeah, like I definitely need to like finish the stone layers of that. And I will. It just is going to take a lot of time. But first I want to do this so we can start our new age of maps, as I'm going to call it. Because this will get us a better idea of how big our world is. And like how much space there is. Because I do want to eventually like map out the entirety of my, like, not the entirety, more like the entirety of all of the stuff I have planned with my world. Because I want to do like some more cool stuff. And you can see the difference between 3 and 4 by a lot, because 3 shows a lot more than 4 does. But I feel like if we're going to map our world as a whole, I think 4 is the better way to go about it than 1 or 2 or 3. Just because we get more of a, like, look. Because, like, yeah, this village here is so much more visible on the 3 map than it is on the 4. And then more so on the 1s and 2s, but that's obvious enough. And then we can take a moment to stop by the Birch Outpost as well while we're up here, because we can also do that to mark that as the banner for our outposts. Because I actually have the full atlas planned and like the different key parts. And I actually might mine down chop down a bunch of the birch trees while we're at it. I could. I don't know if I will, but I could. I just feel like this is going to give us more options. God, we're using so many rockets. Might as well try and conserve them a little more. There's my outpost. God, I haven't visited this in a long time. You know what? I know what I'm going to do. balls. Doing this temporarily. There we go. Now I can mark it better. I remember when we took that entire, like, ruin and of the trail ruins and just completely remodeled it. That was a fun time. Shame we didn't get to do more with it. Doesn't mean we can't, though. But yeah, I'm gonna mark out like all these different things eventually. It'll just take some time. We're also missing like one dog type and like several cat types to get all the dogs and cat variants. We should definitely try and do that someday. Someday. I only have a stack left. I'll need to grab more. I don't trust myself. With this, we should be able to make it most of the way back without issue. I definitely am going to need to clear out the village, though. And the only reason I'm making a new map instead of reusing the old ones is because I just want to. And it also should get rid of a bunch of like the green parts as long as we don't copy them. Like, look at this. I do like it and all with the 3 because it shows a lot, but like, look at all of these. There's so many maps. Thank God they added bundles, though. The red one is for copies. The green one is for future ones or whatnot. And actually, one thing I could try, keyword is could try, is I could go through all of these eventually and like make them bigger. I think that's what I'll do. Like see which ones I should make bigger, etc. But that's for a later me project. Like that is a later Kaya's project. Right now, what I'm going to do is this. I'd rather keep it more centralized right now because as you can see, we're going to still have the 4 corners, but yeah. This will be our basic thing. And I have debated like fixing this because this is one off the side and then over here is the same, but I've thought about shrinking or expanding it. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do just yet, but I'll figure it out. Next on the list, I will put these back for now. Okay. I also need to go through some of these. Hall interior, fill out maps. Yeah. Copper. That's what I need next. Okay. That's not my copper chest. Wax oxidize. Normal. I need cut copper. Wax chiseled. I'm gonna need to unwax these a bit too. And then I need some of these. So that's 4 stacks, 13. That should be good. Do I have enough honeycomb though? I haven't really gone through here to fix this, so I definitely need to go through and fix my bee farm eventually. I just haven't. I keep forgetting to. I've actually debated moving it too. And it's about to turn night. Of course it is. I also do want to find another wither and get a bunch more like iron, gold, etc. to make another beacon over at the museum. Just like a temp one that we can use to move around. We're also going to need one for the museum too, but that's a whole other issue entirely. Okay. I need my axe. Because what we're doing here is... So here... Here... And that is 2 off the side. So 1, 2. Boom. 1, 2. Boom. 1, 2. Boom. 2. Boom. 2. Boom. 2. Boom. And actually, I do have enough for the corner. Perfect. I'm going to do that real quick. And these are waxed to stay like this, but I do kind of want them to be exposed. Because if they're exposed, it'll give them more of the look I'm looking for. It'll just take some time. And thankfully, you can't strip basalt, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay, next up, I'm gonna need these. And where I leave space, I can do more. Well, balls. Ow. Ah, shoot. Flight landing. Then I can put these normal blocks here. This is basically the color I'm going for. Because I like that little bit of green. It adds stuff. And I don't know every bit I'm going to do, but I do have ideas of what I'm going to do. And you better bet I am prepared. I'm basically just going to go through all of these slowly but surely. Okay. So, this world I've been doing a lot on since the last time I streamed this. I mean, even if it doesn't seem like a lot, when you put into perspective the sheer amount of stuff it takes, it starts to kind of show the sheer amount of time I've spent on this. The terraforming alone was a pain in the ass, but it was worth it in my personal opinion. It really, like, I'm not even done with it either. Like, I plan to terraform this entire mountain range. But even then, it's like, there's so much stuff that I have left to terraform. And thankfully, from all of the stuff I mined out from that one mountain, I have a lot more terraforming materials. So I will be able to actually terraform more now that I have more materials. Because that's why I didn't finish the cliff. I ran out of materials. So I started on the mountain and cleared that up. And then I terraformed that since I had more materials. And I just never got back to the cliff in time. But I definitely want to eventually. Oh, this one, perfect. It actually ages faster when it's next to something that's already fully aged, apparently. If I remember correctly. Which is good. The more aged it is, at least. I mean, as you can see from this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I can just go boom, 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 boom. Like, I have spent a lot of time designing stuff for this, and I'm so glad I finally get to put it down after so damn long. Because last I played Survival Vanilla, um, with this world, this roof was not finished. There was no terraforming. There was like no differences in a lot of the progress I had made, just because we were kind of at that point where it was so grindy. And I was like, I mean, I was going to do some off stream, and I did. I held to that. I did some off stream. More than some, actually. I did a lot. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Because I decided since the last time we played to make this my forever world. And if you don't know what a forever world is in Minecraft, a forever world is a world that you choose to stay with through update after update after update, no matter what, and just continue moving forward in. Building things, making things of all shapes, sizes, etc. And that's kind of what I chose to do with this world. I felt it was better to do it like this overall, because it gives more of that feeling of, ooh, that oxidized. It gives more of that feeling of being lived in and loved than most things. Of course, it all depends on a lot of things for people, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, I believe it was. Let me go check real quick. Bum. I'm double checking my actual dome. It was 1, 2, 3, 4 slab, 1, 2, 3 slab, 1, 2 slab, 1 slab, 1, 1 slab, 1, 2, 1. I'm not gonna do it exactly like this. I decided against it, but okay. So one, oop, it's gonna look a little different than this. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So I will need to mine this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I think like this is gonna be better by adding little bits like that. And I'll add slabs and whatnot afterwards and stuff. I'll probably work on that later on, but right now, this should do. I'm just hoping I got it right. I'm gonna need to go over to the other side to check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1. 1. 1, 2. 1, 2. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad. I think it works out really well for this. I just need to spend a little more time on certain aspects. But I definitely think it works. Let me just quickly boom, boom. And let's check down here. Yep, there's a lot of stuff down here. Okay. And as that slowly like gets exposed and whatnot, it'll get more stuff. And I'll do the final bits after. For this, I'm just gonna want like 32. Should be more than enough. And I will better decorate this afterwards. It'll just take some time. Oop, did not mean to do that. Boom. 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 Did not mean to do that. I'm actually debating making this go up by 1. Of course, it does mean it would be like this, which I don't think I mind much. God, that is an ugly mess. Okay, now I will go here. And over. Then I can do this. Perfect. I'll just need to collect stuff on the ground after this, but this should help. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Perfect. And I have 2 left. And there's all my copper. Perfect. And we can sleep away the night. Okay, so I have ideas of what I'm going to do. Oh, that aged way too quickly there. Of course it did. Good thing I can do that. But it also means I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Boom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1. 1. 1, 2. 1, 2. I think having like this type of stuff is good for like overall. I think it adds a lot of detail by adding small bits and pieces like this that just may seem weird right now, but do add to the overall vibe that we are going for. There we go. And I'll eventually do stuff to add, but I think having, honestly, with all four, I could technically still do the dome. It just would not look right without at least something. So what I might do is instead of the double one, I might on these do it and make the inner part and then have them connect up there in a different way. I think that might do better. I just am worried about those. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1. 1. 1, 2. 1, 2. And then I can go down more. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. I'll just have to keep an eye on some of these parts, but my next thing I'm gonna do, and actually, I'm gonna see if I have more down in these chests, because I might unironically have more. In one of these chests. I have bulbs, not what I need, but I will say this is starting to really come along, which is good. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1. 1. 1, 2. 1, 2. Ah, yes, I forgot it does that. So actually, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Yeah, ah! Yeah, I think this is a good way to go about this one. Perfect. Because I do want this to look somewhat, like, nice. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. And I will add more to each bit when I'm, like, done and whatnot, but it will be a bit before I get there. I probably am going to need to bring more of this. The crazy part is I haven't even gone on my spree of chop, 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 chop off all of the oxidization. Because that's the thing I'm going to have to do eventually. So, we'll figure that out. Honestly, I'm debating just doing this for now. I did not go flying. Jeez. Let's quickly go back and get myself some more copper. I like how I don't even technically need a rocket to get all the way back to my base from the museum because of how high up it is. It is quite nice, actually. But, and actually I should stop by ammo to grab some extra rockets. I can drop that off and grab an extra stack of that. It's more than enough, but it's at least useful to have. Okay. God, the look of where all the aspens are gonna go is insane to me. Like, there's just so many. No! And then boom, boom, boom. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then I can do that. 1, 1. 1, 1, 2, 2. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 1, 2, 2. And then 1, 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I can slowly just... Oh my lord. I can at least get some of these from here, which does make this a little less painful. I'll have to grab that later. But it also does help me with this. Boom, 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 boom. Because certain things will just not be able to do that with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And boom. And now I can actually do this. Boom, boom, boom. And then I can quickly just go over here like this and... Yeah, all of those are like that good. Just making doubly sure. I will say, once I finish this fully, get all of it oxidized where it needs to be, etc., it's gonna look 10 times better. Like, you can count on it looking better type. Boom, 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 boom. There's something about Minecraft music that's just really good. Like, Minecraft just has that music that you can always just sit there and listen to. And it's always just a banger. That's just how... Ah! Okay. I am okay. 1, 2, 3, and boom. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Boom. 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 1, 1. Boom. 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 1, 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Bop, 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 bop. And eventually what I'm gonna do is bring like some light that I can put up here. I think it will look nice. But we have one left. And we're almost out of the wax oxidize, actually, so we'll need more. Like, unironically, we do need more. Let me just quickly go and take a nap. Like, the nighttime, as nice as it can be sometimes, is also annoying because of phantoms. I really don't want to deal with phantoms if I don't have to. And as you can see from this, I definitely need to add, like, lights that are, like hidden light or something to just reduce mobs. I mean, I have some ways I could go about it, but not a lot. I will also say I do not plan right now to, like, oh, this is gonna look so nice. Um, I do not right now plan to unwax these anytime soon, just because I have, like, so much stuff to do to make sure it's ready first. Otherwise, I would totally, like, unwax them and get them down to their state that I want them in. But even then, I'm probably going to end up replacing some of these blocks in the long run as well. Because, like, for these, I might replace them with the chiseled variant. I'm not 100% on that yet. Because as much as I made the design in the creative version of this, it doesn't mean it's 100% set in stone for every detail. It's mainly just an outline that we can use as needed. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is the no, actually no, I'm not gonna do that. I think this is fine. Because, like, in the long run, this looks a hell of a lot cooler. If I could, I would add a few things, but there is no versions of some of them, so it's like, well, shit. Um, I also need to finish these, so, like, we need deep slate. That one is gonna be grass. I need dark oak wood. I'm trying to remember each thing I need. I need dark oak wood. I think that's meant to be grass. Let me just double check. I'm trying to remember what trims I'm putting there, because I know I have it all in here. You can see this is an old world just from the stuff I have. No, it's supposed to be copper. Okay, so we have the light ones waxed. Okay, so this is for the trial chamber one. Okay, that matters. Because, yeah, I'm gonna need to do that. Yeah, I've been designing this stuff for so dang long. Do I have any tough bricks? Okay, so boom, 1, 2, 3. Boop, 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 boop. 2, 3. I'm basically outlining where the tough bricks are gonna go. Yeah. Then we'll have a pillar bit, boom, boom, pillar bit, boom, boom, pillar bit, boom, boom, smaller pillar I could do, or, because that would be a bigger pillar, I can do this instead. Because then we can have the smaller pillar bit that kind of appears here and there, or we could just keep the larger ones. I think I'm going to stay with the larger ones. And is that all the tough I have in here? No, I do have some normal tough. I'm gonna take some dirt for this because I don't want to waste too much. So boom, 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 boom. There we go. Then it would go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Then that. Because they have like these variations in them. And I'll need to work on that over time. But now I actually know specifically what's going there. I can also do a few other things like this. Like, I know very well there's going to be a trial spawner there, which will be a 3 wide. And since you can't really move mob spawners, that's why I'm probably just going to use cobbled deep slate, because that's the best way to do so. But yeah, this kind of gives a good outline of that. So I need raw deep slate, dark oak planks. That is meant to be like a bunch of gravel, dirt, sand, andesite, stone. Because I could use some glitches to get sus gravel and sand, but we'd need to find some first. That's the only reason I say that right now. But what I'm gonna basically do here is I'm going to set certain bits to stone, have certain bits of dirt. Like there's a patch of dirt here and a smaller patch here. Remove that. And then the rest of this I'm going to fill in with like all sorts of stuff slowly. So like there'll be some gravel, some sand, terracotta pieces, like the stuff you would normally find in trail ruins is kind of what I'm going to do. Okay, let's go grab that dark oak and whatnot, because that shouldn't be too bad. And since it's a trail ruins, actually, I don't really need sand. I just need gravel, which I'm going to need a lot of, but also terracotta. Various colors of terracotta, more specifically. So let's drop the dirt off. Terracotta. I'm going to want some base. Want light blue, a little bit of gray, blue, white, red. I want some bricks, because that's another thing that can be found there. What else? What else? What else? Oh, yes, gravel. God, I am running low on gravel. I mean, I know where to get it. I should have some more at the piglin farm. What else do I need? I need dark oak planks. I don't have a lot in there. I don't have any dark oak. Okay, note to self. Farm that. Deep slate. Cobble deep slate, normal deep slate. Oh my god, I am running out. Like, jeez. Boom. There we go. Okay. Thanks for the food fight. I'm gonna have stuff thrown at me all the time. I know I will, but that's okay. Oh, yeah, now I remember. That needs to be deep, cobbled deep slate. Ah, I'm dumb. Yeah, I have deep slate bricks. This is literally meant to be the thing. Oh my, oh my gosh! Thank you for the sub with the prime gold. Um, Welcome on into the creatures. I hope you enjoy the labyrinth itself. Was it tasty? Honestly, I don't know. It hit my face too much. I did this off. Dang it! I was one off. Gotta open my mouth next time. That is fair. I probably should next time. Okay, so I'm gonna need to do it like this for now, because we're also gonna need the gray wool. And then yeah, right here is where it would be. And then I'll need to put the wool. Okay. So my brain just completely blanked there. I am basically just putting this in right now till we can get everything in. Now for the trial chamber area. Not trial chamber, trail ruins area. I am basically going off what I remember finding in the trail ruins. And then it was like, oh, I need the white one. And then over here, I'm going to do the big one I found. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, but I can't thank you enough, Gold. Oh my lord. And it would be it's kind of like this. Then there was red. But I do want to open this up a bit so it's more seeable for people. Gonna need a lot of gravel. Some of which will like go on top. I need that brick area that I remember oh so well. I just love adding like these little bits and pieces. I just wish I could pose the dang armor stands. Because if I could pose armor stands, my museum things would look so much better than they already do. Because I'd actually be able to do like huge things. I can if I were to get a mod. Otherwise, you can't do it in vanilla, which sucks, in my personal opinion. I think you should be able to. Because you can do it in Bedrock. So the fact that you can't really do it in Java, and like it has some set poses in Bedrock, but it doesn't have any in Java. So it's just kind of like, oh, what the hell? Because like I would love to have some of those. Okay. I think this is kind of good for like the trail ruins. So I can put this away with these. Oh, I didn't really use any gray terracotta. I know where to put it. Yeah, common Java L moment. I mean, with all of the stuff they have been doing, though, it is possible we might see some things at least with more like cross-platform stuff as they've been working on it. So at least there's that as a plus, but it doesn't say a lot, sadly. And I really wish we could say that there's going to be more, but I am not 100% on it. Nah, that needs to be moved. Put it there. Yeah, this looks better. Like, look at that. That actually looks like a trail part, like the inside of a trail ruins type. And yeah, eventually I do need to go through and add like the little supports and whatnot as well. I will say you did miss the whole extravaganza of below the terraforming out here. Oh my god, that spider scared me. Um, we found a lot of Endermen, but I also set up a bunch of diorite for aspens. I need to get some of those squids into some places because I want to get some squid into my aquarium. I also have thought about like making this an auto farm. And since I'm over here, there's my dark oak. Realized one to understand basically. So let's say if someone lied or said no to a random person, it probably wouldn't feel as much as if they said it to someone they would know. That would kind of hurt them knowing that they lied or said no to the person. I mean, yeah. Like, that is a pretty normal thing because of how we feel about our close friends being more social animals. I mean, we care a lot about like our tight-knit social groups than, let's say, if we were a completely different species. But that's also because we're social animals. I mean, there's also people who have like there's also things you could fit into like compulsive liars, which will lie about anything and everything to anyone. It doesn't matter. And you have people who do it to make themselves feel better, usually narcissists. Um then you have people who just always tell the truth to a fault. Um that can be seen in autism as well as several other um different mental related effects. But it's honestly a lot of weird when you look at just how many there are that affect us. Okay, did I miss any? I don't think so. It's just taking a while. Good to know. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I'm just gonna let this keep going. Put the sticks in here. While this goes, let's quickly do what I've been meaning to do. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do half a stack. It's more than enough, but this is gonna be for the pillager and mansion bit because I'm gonna do it like this, and I'll have to add cobblestone lines and whatnot later. But I really do like, damn sheep, get out. I really do like being able to make these types of builds. They're very fun. Um, but yeah, there's all sorts. As much as the sheep wants to be part of it, it can't. Okay, so a window I would start like here. I'd probably put it like on the edge, so it would probably go like this. And the window it'd be one, two, so it would go to here. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's about the size. Actually, no, windows don't spawn on the bottom layer of a mansion. What am I thinking? They only spawn on second and third layer. Little fun fact for you. Not a lot of people know. Okay, so I'm gonna want to go boom, boom, boom for this. Boom, boom. boom. I've studied the mansion so much that I sometimes even forget because it's like, oh yeah, it's such a random bit of information most people don't know or is like just so far-fetched. 2, 3, 4, boom, 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 boom. The way the human brain works, it can happen, it can be interesting, but also really scary. Oh, it really can be. I mean, look at trends and stuff. So many people want to follow trends or do this or do that. I mean, and part of it's just wanting to be accepted as a primal instinct of wanting to be part of the main group. So, like, you aren't in danger. And I find that to be interesting. 1, 2, 3. Because it adds a lot to the whole bit of what else is there like that? I think what I'm going to do is like that. I'm going to like make it go all the way up. I think it'll look nicer that way. It does mean I'll need to do this, but I will have to do the stoneworking of it as well. And I'm probably... I mean, I could improve it like how I've wanted to improve a mansion, but I'm not going to. At least not yet. Honestly, that could be a fun future project. Improve the human mansion. I read part of chat and just instantly my brain went, human mansion. Ah, yes, the human mansion. But the human brain works. It happens to be interesting, but also really scary. It really, like, yeah, I already read that. But like the human brain as a whole is probably the most complex yet intriguing things. Okay, there's that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3. I'm gonna need cobblestone for this as well. Do I have any cobblestone over here? Because that matters. Yes, perfect. I'll add like mossy and whatnot later, but right now I need to do this. Boom, boom, boom. And then boom, 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 boom. Okay. Then I need this. Technically, it's supposed to go in, like, out one more, but I'm basically gonna do a 3 block for this one. I think this will look nicer when I get it fixed up. Okay. There we go. Okay. For a mini outpost, that isn't the worst thing in the world. But I am gonna want to go boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boo. Because they do like to have wood stacks. But I'm gonna do a different wood type because I don't think they usually use this. Actually, no, I'm gonna use this, but I'm gonna need to better work it in. There we go. And I can add like the tent and whatnot as well. But let's quickly go see and make sure that that dark oak area has dropped all its leaves for the most part. Cool. It hasn't. Honestly, I need to set up like farms for this stuff. Oh yeah, like how to respond to like epilepsy and stuff is really weird. I mean, I think that just says a lot about the weirdness of what can help with the human body as a whole. I mean, when you think about it from that perspective, there's a lot. I mean, the human body is a very complex organism already, but then you add on top of that all of these different little bits and pieces and like how easily it can heal from some things compared to others. It's honestly insane. I think the best way I've heard someone put it is it's kind of like a weird, messed up child. One that wants to fight you over everything. But when push comes to shove, it still keeps you alive. Which, you know what? Fair. It's a fair assessment. Because there are times my body absolutely annoys the hell out of me. You're a fun mental cocktail. I know quite a few fun mental cocktails worth of people. So I understand that part a lot. I know we're going to need a lot of birch. So I think what we're going to do is go grab a shulker box and try and fill it with birch. Um, I think that's going to be the best option. Because, yeah, I need a bunch of birch. And the closest place I can think is the birch forest, where our outpost is. Because I don't want to use my trees right now. Because there is not enough. And I'm going to need a lot for the aspens. Because they're mostly going to be birch. Once I get the actual, like, trunks in, then I can add, like, I'll add, like, some more diorite to some. Some will be taller, some will be shorter, some will be bigger, some will be smaller, some will be thicker at the bottom. Some will be thinner. But all of them, in the long run, are going to be based off birch and diorite. Because those two are important. Let's just quickly do that. And that. And even if I don't get a full shulker box of birch, I also can grab a few other things while I'm out. I mean, there's one thing this world has that worlds now don't have, and that's the fact that we have a birch forest without any of the wildflowers or anything in it. Which I think is a crazy thought to think about. Like, we have this big birch forest, yet there's barely any wildlife. You have forests without fallen logs. And you can see that quick shift because you see more plant life as we go further, and this freaking creeper. Bonk. Anyways, let's keep chopping down some birch. Oh, apparently I missed that one. I mean, I know we're not going to need an entire shulker box, but it's good to have extra. Like, I know we're going to need a lot. Same thing with sand and gravel. We're going to need a lot because I need... So let's think. I need yellow concrete powder, yellow glazed terracotta, yellow wool, yellow glass, both pane and full block. Friend complains about his back hurting. Response, dude, I have it worse. Where did that guy come from? What the hell? I mean, yeah, scoliosis sucks from what I've heard. I mean, I deal with a lot of back pain myself. I'm quite sure I don't have scoliosis. Doesn't make it any less painful, though. Part of it's probably from me falling all the time, because I fall over so much. I'm quite sure some of it is from lasting injuries of the past, which honestly makes a lot of sense for me. Way too much sense. But when when I was designing the aspen trees, and actually, I don't think you got to see them. I'm going to show them off again. This is the tree design I'm going to basically be doing. I spent a lot of time working on the actual look of aspens. I'm choosing to use bamboo planks for some of the lighter leaves and add a bit of that shine, but also candles. You can see each of these for 8 of these alone, it takes an entire state worth of gravel and sand. So if I were to take 4 stacks of gravel and sand each and a stack of dye, that is 8 stacks of concrete powder. Then some I'm in creative. Then some I'm going to need for the actual concrete itself. Glazed terracotta I can do relatively easily, but with how I'm doing this, you can see most of the trunk is birch. Because, and I can show this off with the stuffs again. If you look at them, they are very birch-like. They fall under that type of category. I mean, it's cool that aspens grow in the environment that I'm going for, because it means I get to have a giant, like, organism of trees that basically are one, like, organism because of how they grow. It's honestly so cool. I'm so dang excited because aspens are just one of those trees I find cool. But they grow in like rocky, more mountainous areas usually. And they make giant forests. It's so cool. Sorry. Because like they prefer that type of ground. They're found usually in places that you get wildfires too. Keyword is usually. I mean, it's definitely going to be nice to have a thing of aspens. Then I need to design the house. So since I'm going for a lighter color for the museum and the aspens, I want the houses to pop like the museum as well with its grays. So I've been thinking about what I want to use. I'm not going to go for like something too bad, but I'm debating going for like an oak as like the main wood type, or make them like hobbit hole like or something. But I feel like going for like oak cabins in the woods works as well. And I can use like some campfires for certain things and whatnot. I'll just need to spend some time doing it. Because I definitely think it could work under the right circumstance. It's one of those types of things. Under the right circumstances, it could work. I just need to figure out how specifically I want to design them. Because I know I'm going to use brick and stuff. I want to keep up like the warm colors with the aspen. I'm not going to use birch on the house much. I might use it for like some shading. But I think I want to stick with those like bit darker colors, but also the warm ones at the same time. I think it's going to give more of that oomph that I'm looking for. And it will make it feel way better. So I'll definitely have to work on it. And I'll add like little chimneys and stuff. Just maybe one or two of them. Ugh. What the? You were just peaceful. Like it scared me a second ago, but then it was peaceful, I thought. And then I go close to it and it freaking attacks me. What a bitch. Like I didn't do shit to him. Let's just check up here. Holy moly. I mean, the good part about this is we are getting a bunch of birch. And we're clearing out a bunch of area that we may or may not need. Another thing I've actually debated doing, and this is something I want to mention because it's an idea I've been having of doing custom biomes. And I've thought more about it since I last mentioned it. Um, I think the Aspen is going to be one of those custom biomes. And like I kind of want to fill my world with like a bunch of like random custom biomes that are in and not in Minecraft themselves. But it also means I kind of want to see what like if I were to add stuff that like a build from a viewer, for example, I would need to like see the build and I would basically try to copy it best I can. Um but otherwise I'd probably have to get the file for it and whatnot, and I'd have to figure that out. Probably be the only time I'd want to like figure stuff out. Because like if I could copy and paste it into the world, I would, but I don't know if that's possible. And if it is, I don't know how. But I definitely think it would be fun, nonetheless, to like, for some, if not for like some to most of like the custom biomes, world edit most likely. Yeah, and that's one of the issues with this being like fully vanilla is I would need to figure that out. But I think it would be fun to like have a few builds from viewers in like the custom biomes so that like there's still that mark on this world from the people who have actually watched this series, and like the people who basically are here during my streams and whatnot and want to join in and build something for it. And it would be up to them if they want me to change anything or not, but even then, I think it would be cool to add things into like different biomes, like maybe for example the jungle, there's like a statue or something I could add in with like a temple, because while redesigning some of like the normal biomes that we have, I also want to like redesign some of those original structures. Like for the ocean, I don't know if I'll redesign it fully. And if I did, I would probably redesign it in like an aquarium setting. Um, but like the different cave variants, for example, I could totally make them like part of certain builds. Um, I feel like that would be fun. Like every once in a while, basically having a thing where like people can submit different builds and stuff, and I could maybe add them in places in the world. I think that would be fun. And it would also add a little more to just the world as a whole. Because I, I think eventually what I'm going to do is after I make a certain amount of progress or something, like after a certain amount of time with this Forever World, I'm probably going to end up like releasing the file or something as like a downloadable so people could explore it. I don't know when I would do it, but it was a thought I did have of I could try that as well. But there was no guaranteed yes or no at this point. But it was definitely a thought that went through my mind of maybe I could do something like that. Because it might be fun for people who want to explore the world and see stuff that I did on or off stream and see more details of stuff. Like, because no matter what, I have so many plans. And there's so much that you guys don't see on stream that I've done of just grinding. But I feel like even if I do this on stream, just being able to have that is also one of those things of, oh, cool, I get to be immortalized in this world, or, oh, cool, there's this world that like I can go and explore for myself and get to experience it. And since each player file is different, I'd basically just give the save without the player file, and I would if possible, I need to remember how to do that. It's been a long ass time since I've had to do something like that. But basically, kind of add my stuff in a chest where people can access it to make it like an actual tour. I want to finish out the Nether hub. I want to make it a real like hub of places and whatnot. Make easy ways to places like the Nether Fortress, different farms, and similar. I feel like that would add a lot to just the overall world, but also to just the replayability for anyone who may or may not want to download it in the future. I mean, even then, I'm doing this all for me in the long run. I mean, it's my forever world for a reason. I want to continue it because I have ideas, and I feel like instead of just restarting a world after updates and whatnot, and just, oh, I've reached a point where there's no normal progression I can make, I feel like having this is fun because, one, I get to try out making new farms I don't normally make. Two, I get to see how far I can go with my survival building. And three, it gives me a challenge to see where I go with it. Because I don't care about making it hardcore or anything. I die way too much to care about that. But I definitely want to get better. I feel like this is a good amount. I thought I would. I'm not sure. It's almost half a shulker box. It's not too bad. We're getting close. But like, I definitely think there's a lot that could be said about it. I mean, like with all the outposts and stuff, I could even do like little secret outposts and whatnot that like you can see on streams of like the marker, but you don't know like every bit and piece. Like for example, the outpost over here in the Birch area, I might add like some little special secrets that you can find just for the sake of it. I think it'd be fun. Give me a little bit of stuff I can also go back and laugh at when I see it and see how people react to finding some of that stuff. It also give a little bit of like when I do release the world file, the people who want to actually look for them or just play the world might find it and just it might just create a little bit of just funny moments in the community. I could also totally use it for riddles, for like riddles of ideas or certain things. That'd be fun. I just like the ideas that kind of come from it because you get so many ideas that it's just like, you know what? Let's do this. And yeah, I definitely need to go back to all three of my ancient cities. And I actually think it would be fun to remake the ancient city. Like, not just remake it, more like bring it back to its original glory type remake. And maybe even like upgrade certain parts of it. Like I know a few things were towers and whatnot. A few things seem to be the pathways slash walls. But I want to make more builds tell stories. So that's what I'm going to do. I could build dragons in this world flying overhead, or even just giant animals. Like, the one thing about a forever world, though, is it doesn't matter what I create. And it will still be my forever world that I come back to. I mean, one thing that makes me excited, though, is seeing how much I've improved with building over time, too. Because, yeah, I have my creative world, but seeing how I've advanced in survival building, though, over the time is also going to be good. Same with my redstone. Seeing how I advanced in those areas will be important to me. Oh, did I accidentally look at him? I didn't realize. Yikes. But, like, I feel like it would just be better overall. And it would give a lot more for just everything in general. Okay, so there's a bunch of birch. I think that's a good amount for now. Let's just fly back home before I freaking die. Jesus. What do I not need? Carrot, bow, arrow, egg, bone, flesh. I'll keep the sticks. But I basically will empty this for now. Because I also need more diorite than what I have. So I'm probably going to have to go on a diorite mowing session. Which, that's okay. I can take care of that. I also want to continue my lakes more. And also, this is a good time to do so as well. Um, I want to terraform my rivers. I think it would be good to do so. Let's see, where do we have, what do we have in First Birch? Quite a lot, actually. Boom, boom. Mob drops, boom, boom. Stick. So I'm gonna try and terraform the rivers around my base a bit. So that'll be fun. Because what I want to do is I basically want to. So you see how it doesn't look very dark and it doesn't look very deep? What I want to do is I want to terraform this entire thing with like mud at the bottom and whatnot and make it just look darker and more nice looking. And I could go over here now. Boo, 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 boo. I think 3 is enough for now, as I mark this out, because I need to. Because I am going to go from here. So, like, this. Because I am going to want to better cliff face this. And it just means I'll have to do a little more work on, like, terraforming bits. It's weird because I know what I need to do. Just don't know if I have the strength to do it all. Because some of this stuff is going to be a pain in the butt for me. Because, like, I can't use world edit, creative, or any of that with survival. So it's like, I'm basically stuck with what I got. And what I got is this. And I do want to add a waterfall and whatnot as well. That was something I did think about for one of the areas. But I'm basically going to have to build out this entire cliff face for what I want to do. But I think it's going to be worth it. I want to make a custom waterfall and everything. Not just the same old, like, oh, wow, this is what normal waterfalls look like. No, I want to, like, really go into it and be very careful on how I make it to make it look the nicest it can while still feeling like a realistic waterfall. So now, if we go over to this tree, and I put my video settings back up, temporarily, and we look at this, you can kind of see like what I'm going for with this. It's going to be a large cliff face, and I want the river to be like near the bottom of it. And I'm gonna have to carve out areas because my plan here is very difficult to do. Because what I'm gonna have to do is basically just a bunch of replacing and just fixing. And I think what I'm gonna do is I can put the waterfall like here, use this natural terrain, and kind of just do something like this. Even if it may seem weird. Because I feel like adding bits like that will make it feel more alive. Then I can go over like here, for example, and just build up like part of the bank of the like waterfall area. Because I'm gonna want it to fall like here. So I'd want a bunch of like stone and whatnot. Kind of like that. I mean, this is just an idea for now. On like this side that I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna need to like better smooth areas and whatnot. This is literally how I do terraforming. I like build up on areas, or like I figure out the shape of it and then I go from there. There's no in between. It's one or the other. Depends how big it's gonna be. Because if it's smaller, I can just easily do stuff like this. And what I want to do is I want to add like these bits here that make this very rocky and rugged and whatnot. But that is easier said than done. Then I can go here and boom, boom. Yeah, like, and it adds a good chunk. But of course, that is only an idea right now. Lighting up behind this, I might want to do earlier on this time. The other area I debated putting a waterfall is over here. like right through here, I thought about it. But then I was like, I think I'm gonna keep the aspens, but I could remove this one and have a waterfall come from here where the freaking Endermen are back. Oh great, there's area in there now. Because of course there is. Like, the Endermen are a pain in my ass. I really want to get rid of them. If I can find... Honestly, if I were to turn this to modded, I would specifically get a mod just to remove Enderman griefing only. Because otherwise you have to turn all of mob griefing off, which also includes stuff I don't want to get rid of. Like villagers mob griefing and piglins. Because then 2 of my farms break. But I'm hoping I can at least get some form a bit with this. We'll just have to kind of see as I like form this, and then we'll do a bunch of like cliff face stuff after. Because cliff faces are gonna look weird automatically. And I will definitely need to do a few things. And since we're doing some building, let me just quickly do this. Music has not been playing in Minecraft for some godforsaken reason. So I am going to quickly just... Where's my stream music? I saw it for a moment and now it's gone. Give me a sec. There it is. I can keep it in the background while I talk and I turn off Minecraft music. But my main plan is to just... I need to also, like, fix certain parts of this as well, and that's going to be the hard part. Because you'll have areas like this that just need so much more love. And I think that's kind of what I'm going to need to do a bit more of. Just to give it the love it needs. Because as this stuff gets bigger and bigger, it'll take time. And I want to, like, layer off some of this so it's a full, like, cliff side. So that's going to take a bit of time. We're going to have to do that as well. But over here... you can kind of see how I have set this up. And that's kind of what I'm going to do real quick, is replace some of this best I can. I'm not going to replace all of it because I don't need to. And why would I want to if I don't need to? Especially with, like, this. Yeesh. Because of my plans I have. My hope is to just bring some of it to life by covering it. Because, like, here, for example, I'm going to bring this up more. And this stuff will look nicer once I get the full cliff done, but until then, I think what I'm going to do is a bit of this. Just to add little bits. Then it will actually look nice. Which is what I want. And I can place, boom, boom. Because, yeah, this whole arch I will need to slowly replace. Just because it's going to do a lot. And I don't care that it's nighttime or raining right now. I just want to get this completed. Because what I'm going to do here is, so you can kind of see where the river is. I want the waterfall to lead down into the river, and then I want to terraform this so that it's like closer up. And then I want to bring this river into here a bit so that it's like an underground river. That's the plan. Will it end up that way? Lord frickin' knows. At this point, it may. It may not. I'm no magic person, so we'll find out. Because, yeah, I definitely think having an area like this will do a lot. Because having, like, a big cave and whatnot can actually look really nice. It just has to be done right. And that's the difficult part. Doing it right. Okay. Then I can do this. And then boom. 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 Okay. Look at that. This is starting to come together. Even if it's just by a little bit. That horse is stuck in that hole. I think the hard part of this whole bit is going to be lighting everything up because of the amount of glowstone I'm going to need. And, like, shroom lights. Anything that glows, basically. I'm going to need so much of it. Just to make sure. Because I get so worried about lighting and whatnot. And I want to make sure that I can actually do stuff. Nice try, creeper. Little shit. Okay. And then I also have this cave over here, which you may be wondering what I plan to do with. I plan to just make it look cool. And then probably put a custom lush cave or a custom dripstone cave in here would be cool. Like some sort of custom biome would be interesting. And I also got to remember when making this that no entrance is going to be perfect with rock and whatnot. So it's another thing I am working on. Then I can go boom, boom. And yeah, when I get all of it done, I will make sure to keep it lit up with like glow lichen and whatnot to give it the atmosphere it needs while also making it mob spawn proof. Like, I'll use glow lichen and whatnot. I'll use glowberries, torches, glowstone, whatever looks the best. We'll just have to see. Okay. I mean, the good part about doing this now is we won't have to worry later. We're gonna have so much lime wool here and there that we just don't need. There we go. Okay. Any place I can avoid stuff definitely helps. I'm gonna need to do that because it's gonna be kind of like this. Boom. And then boom. That one's gonna get covered up by the cave. Unless I do this. And then these two, I can do this. Okay, let's see how this looks. I'm gonna put that there. If I remove this, let's see, does that look better? Yes, that feels more like a rugged, rough area. Okay. And I can do a bit of this. So this is kind of how I do my cliff faces and stuff. Is I literally just roll with it. It's the best way to kind of do it for me. Because they're rocky. They're not going to be perfectly symmetrical or even. Some bits will stick out, some bits won't. Some bits will be all over the place. But I also want to add those bits that hang over as well, because while it's going to go mainly inwards and whatnot, certain bits will hang over until it hits that area. Which matters. And it's why a form of consistency is good to have with this. And then I can... Okay, that's the last of that. Let me just move this over to here. And then we can look at this better. Yeah, that's starting to look like a stone wall. And the crazy part is I still need to texture this with tough and frickin' nah. I don't know if I'll do tough actually. But andesite and cobble. I might do some tough. I'm not 100% yet. But I might as well use this time to at least try and make this look a bit nicer. Oh. Did not expect that. And now we can kind of add like bits and pieces. And I'll have to... Oh. I could always incorporate parts of this underwater cave like, oh, wow. but I don't know if I will. I think it's better to do this for now, because I'm going to be turning a lot of stuff into mud as well, which does matter. This is going to be a lot of it. And I think having this like this should help. Because it's a waterfall. It's going to basically be right here where there's a stone. And I kind of want to move... I'm going to replace a lot of it with like stones and dirt. Like coarse dirt and stuff. Because I want it to look like sediment built up from it. And like got washed around. Because that is what it does. The waterfall. And the other thing I want to do is this. So it will kind of lead into the river a bit, where the river will literally like because I want this to feel like the river is part of it, because then what I can do is I could technically cut off parts of it here. If I do this now, as long as I'm doing this right. Okay. And I think with the fact there's also the water cave, that should help. Because it adds just a little bit, and I can always cut off areas of it. Let's see how this looks. Because this is, right now, this is only straight lines. But I will terraform it to do more after. Because right now, I have it at 1 before... I have it at 1 below sea level. And I kind of want to mix it in a little, so it looks kind of like it's fully going. And I'm hoping this will at least give me enough space to, like, get an idea. Okay. Yeah, this is giving me an idea. And I think what I'm going to do is... I'm going to want a bit of this, I think. But not too much. Because I'm also going to have all of this. And I could add islands and whatnot, but I'm going to make this a thick-ass river for now, as I, like, do a bunch of the stuff. Okay. Yeah, and then I can kind of go around. Because, yeah, as I make this a bit wider and whatnot, it should help. And yeah, I will definitely replace, like, the stone and whatnot eventually, but right now I want to do this to fix it a bit. And yeah, I can easily, like, add bits like that. And I could make this an island, actually. Like, I could make this a whole-ass island. Been doing this game, found out you can pet the dog in said game. Been making it look like my pet dog did pass away, but it could still be with me for a moment. Honestly, I've done that too with games. Like, sometimes you just need it. It can help with grief at times. Like, I know the feeling. Like, there used to be an old Pocket Edition world before I got rid of it off my phone that I had that actually had dogs named after different dogs I had. So, like, I feel you on that. So what I'm gonna do is a bit like this. I'll just need to, like, yeah. I definitely think we're getting a surprising amount of just, like, random stuff from me doing a little bit of terraforming. I mean, it definitely looks better than it once was. But yeah, I've done a lot for my pets in the past. When it comes to, like, making something to remember them by in games, because it just it feels a lot better in cases, because, like, part of them is still there even if it's not there for real, and it can really help feel better on those types of days that just get really, like, crazy and whatnot, where you're just like, God, I wish I could pet them or whatnot. And that's kind of why I do it, is it sometimes I just need it. Because I know there is an inevitable day where I no longer will be seeing certain people in my life, but also I won't have my dogs. Because, like, my dogs are so important to me. I'd die for them. I love them so fucking much. Like, and they don't even know the half of how much I care about them. But, like, I'm quite sure they don't fully see every, like, moment and put it together the same way I do, because of how much I actually do care about them. I mean, they mean the world to me. They're my dogs. It's kind of hard not to have them mean a lot to me. I mean, having those types of outlets, though, it definitely helped with me, for me especially, with a lot of the stuff I've had to go with losing dogs that I love to death. Like, it's just an innate part that just kind of you're stuck with, which sucks, because it's like, of all the things that it could be, that is probably the hardest one. Which does not help. Okay, yeah, I think with what we have here, this should be relatively good, but I'm gonna want to do a little bit of this. And I definitely will need to do a bit of this as well, because this will run through a bit more. So it's going to be a little more jagged, which is what matters to me. I want this to look good. And it sometimes means jagged. And adding, like, these little hills and stuff, even if they don't connect up to it, still make it feel so much more, like, alive, just because of how I'm doing it. And I can kind of add these little bits. There we go. Like, I'm gonna cover up a lot of water doing this, but I need to, because I don't want to fall in and get stuck, preferably. And eventually I do want to come down here with like a water bucket or something and just clear out this area a bit. Because I definitely think that would be worthwhile. There we go. And then for like here, I'm gonna like flatten this out a bit. Let's just take a look at this. Oh, look at that. That river's gonna go through there. There's gonna be a small island. I can already see it forming. I can see a few places I want to like fix this a little bit. I just want to make this feel a little more real. Because, yeah, I'm going to basically have to do a lot of stone work on this. Okay. You know, it's crazy the amount of stonework I'm gonna have to do, but I'll figure it out. I know I will. Can do this. Okay. Yeah. I think this will work. And I'll add like stones to it and whatnot, so it's like broken off pieces. I think that'll help a lot. God, we're almost down more stacks. But I think with that, what I can do then is, since that'll be part of the cliff, and this is something I'm going to need to really work on. There we go. Because I'm going to have to come out here. First off, close this up. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go here. And I want to use this as a good indicator for what I'm going to do. Because we're going to need to make a huge difference. And I think this will be a great way to do it. And like some of this will be a lot different when I'm done. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is a little bit of this. And there is going to be a bit of that steepness to this hill, but I'm fine with a little bit. because of the plan that I have here being a lot more like it's gonna be steep going a bit less steep and whatnot. And actually, I'm gonna get rid of this tree here just so it's gone. Then what I can do is I can add a bit of this to it. So that there's at least a bit of more space that is usable for me here. For this build as a whole. Because I have put a lot of time into these types of builds before, and they always take forever. There's no getting around it. It takes forever sometimes. And I'm gonna want to make sure that things don't spawn with a reasonable amount. But I also want to make sure that things go well. Which includes a little bit of this. And then boom. Anyway. Now that that's taken care of, I can do a bit of this. And you can kind of get a good idea of how I'm going to do this. Because, yeah, we're going to need to light up under this. And, like, certain parts will be more steep. But that's okay. Then I can do a bit of this. And you'll kind of notice as we do more and more, it'll slowly fill out more and more. Ow! There we go. And I want some of these to look a bit off. And like more steep. It is a mountain type. It is kind of like a mountain, so. All this is slowly coming together. And actually, I think I'm going to keep that. Because then I can move it like this. There we go. It's a bit crude. And there's some areas I can do a little better. But yeah. Now, if I go over here, it smooths it out a lot more. And I kind of want to smooth the terrain a bit going into this. So I want it to kind of smooth just a light amount. And then like right here is where it will turn into the stone bit. Yeah, because I want it to be like this oh wow type feel. Oh my god, I keep falling. Because yeah, like right around here-ish. And then I'm basically going to make stone be a thing for these as I remove the dirt. I don't want to remove all of it just so I have at least some space to like place, but yeah, basically at this point I want it to be stone. As you can kind of tell, at this point it becomes stone. And I will basically keep it kind of like this. But I don't want it to be too far. Yeah, like right here is kind of where I'm gonna. Yeah, because it's gonna turn around in this area, so I kind of want it to like do a little bit of a semi move. There we go. But yeah, by this point, it's gonna mainly be stone. That's the plan. Things will change. Oh, I did not mean to place the lime down. There we go. Kind of smooth it out a bit more, while adding that little bit of messiness that comes with terrain as a whole. And then like right here, it'll be more. Yeah. Because from this point on, like that's kind of how I'm gonna do it. I'm basically gonna put it out a little more this way, meaning it'll be a little more angular. But that should give a good thing. I'll get rid of the water as well real quick. And we can take care of that. Do 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 bump. Okay. Because yeah, and then as you can see over on this one, what I'm gonna have to do is a full like set of terraforming for the river. And that's easier said than done. And I think what I'm going to end up doing at this point is I want to terraform this over. Sorry, yeesh. Ugh. My allergies have been affecting me really badly recently. Like, I wear masks going outside because of how bad the pollen is for me, because grass pollen and whatnot always seems to get worse around summer. I've just been feeling weird as well. I'm hoping I'm not getting sick, because if I am, that's not good. And I'd like to not be sick. I just know I've been feeling weird. I'm just cracking it up to my allergies being bad because it's been bad for quite a bit. That's basically what I'm gonna hope and say to myself. If it gets worse, it gets worse. I know that's not a healthy way to look at it, but yeah. My plan is to basically like merge this part and then take this, um, take this bit. I want to like go under here because you have this, but I basically want to keep that and then just like mold it down with stone. Um, and I'll work on that on my own time, most likely, as I do a bit of this. Um, but I want to do that, and then I want to come up to top here, and I want to basically take this mound and just like slowly like drift it down a bit more. Because you have the mounds here, but I kind of want to like lessen them more. And that's kind of like my main thing I've been trying to do is because like I can get this to go down a bit because here I'm going to already do that because I want it to feel nicer and whatnot. And as I work a bit on that, I will slowly be modifying this so this kind of goes at a better angle. And yeah, but that's gonna take time, a lot of it, but I can get to it eventually, hopefully. Because like even if I don't do my forever world like all the time on stream, I definitely want to like revisit it every once in a while if we don't stream it constantly. By constantly, I mean like every normal Minecraft day. I just want to be able to add that bit. Like right here, for example, I want to add a bit of grass so that it feels a little less mini cliff right now. Just because I feel that way personally. But just depends. Oh. And then we can do a little of that. Go a bit around. See? Little bit goes a long way. And I'll have to replace the stone with dirt in areas, but that's okay. And like I'll kind of like curve this inward a bit. It'll take some time, but I can do it. But now that you can kind of see what I'm doing, you can kind of see how I'm going to do it. Because yeah, I do want a more smoothed out bit. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I can just put grass back in its place. I mean, it's not a difficult thing for me to do. It's just time consuming. And that's kind of the hard part of it all, is it's very time consuming and like mind numbing what I have to do for it. Because it's just one of those very mind numbing tasks. But like, as you can see from this, I can easily take like pretty good care of this. I mean, I love the fact that I'm getting better at terraforming personally, because it means I am making progress as a builder and artist. Because even in Minecraft, building is like an art form. At least for me it is. For some people it may not be, but for me it is. And I like adding these little bits and pieces that make it feel more alive. Because if it doesn't feel alive, then I mean, it just feels weird for me. Because I want my builds to feel like they're living and breathing and belong in the world as a whole. That's why I make them the way I do. Because if I want them to belong. And I've actually thought about a few things for when we get happy ghasts. What if I, instead of a normal thing to put them in, like just a normal mount thing, what if I made a hanger for my mounts? Like an airplane hanger for all my mounts. So my donkey, mule, horse, and happy ghast, as well as like a strider and stuff, like a bunch of mounts in there. I think that could be a fun way to go about it. Having a little hanger of my mounts that I can take places. And I could I could use it to try and learn to make planes better in Minecraft. Because I have not really made planes much, if at all. Like, the few times I have not touched them since. It's been that long. So I think it would be a welcome challenge for me. But yeah, I definitely am going to do a bit. Okay. Holy crap. But yeah, I definitely need to quietly and quickly do this. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. But yeah, I kind of want to keep it like this level, I think. And I might let it go a little higher in areas, but I think this is... Oh, great, we're dealing with phantoms now. I was wondering when they'd appear. And this is why I sleep. You know, there are some days I regret voting for the Phantom. Just because it's so dang annoying. Let me quickly put the lime away. Just need to add a bit to that. But yeah, I will add a bunch more terraforming to this over time. Then I can do that. You know, there's a bakery I used to go to when I was younger with my Grammy before she passed. And I was curious about if it still existed and whatnot. Turns out it does. And I'm just debating, do I want to drive the extra hours? Because I also looked, their prices have not changed since the last time I went. Well, some of them have, but not a lot. Like, as in, oh no, I'm gonna spend 20 cents instead of like 16 cents on like a donut, for example. And I don't mean like small, I mean like giant donuts. Like, I'm surprised they don't charge more type size. Like, honestly, it's insane they don't charge more, in my personal opinion. But that's more of a personal thing where I'm like, I'm just surprised. But yeah, this is kind of what I did to the mountain. I just did this. Clearing up land. Then I can slowly just... There we go. And I can throw some of this in my chests over here. Because I have loads. I probably should move the bed over to here again. For now I'm doing this. And then the rest of this it can just go in here for the most part. The sand, though. There it is. These can go in here. Yeah, like, I have been slowly doing this, and I'm gonna try and get more diorite and stuff off stream. Like, I just kind of have to. Just looking at this, though, it's just kind of crazy. Because it's come so far at this point. And yeah, between now and next time we come onto the vanilla world, I want to try and make a tree farm if possible. It'll just take time. I will say, thank God for Ilmango and his designs, because it helped me so much with the mud farm. Because his mud farm design is great. I'm gonna see if I can make a modified version in a bigger area where I can basically stretch it to piston length a few times so it gets pushed over like dripstone and whatnot, so I can also like get infinite clay from it. I just would need infinite dirt, which is the difficult part. But I basically could just go ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. But I'd need to add something to make sure the bottles stay filled and whatnot, which easier said than done. But I got some ideas. Because it should stay somewhat full. Just need to be careful about it. But yeah, this is literally what I did. I had to And you know what? This actually reminds me. I really should upgrade my axe and shovel. Specifically my shovel. Because my shovel has run out of durability so quickly from doing all this, which you would think it's not like, because the durability, it's not as quick as it could be. It's just how fast and how long I've been doing it that it feels so quick. Actually, if I grab these, I could just easily go boop, 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 boom. There we go. Let's see, do I have any netherite? Because if I do, I am upgrading my shovel. Because I need to. Oh. Sorry about the yawning, jeez. I'm a yawny boy today, apparently. We are one ancient debris short. Do we go looking for it? I don't think so. Not right now. I might as well repair my tools while I'm over here. And I can kind of show off, like, just... Oh, hi there, zombie piglin. Like, this building, I have thought about what I could maybe do to, like, do more inside-wise. I just haven't figured it out yet. Boy. How much gravel? Okay, yeah, I have enough gravel. I should be able to make all of the concrete I need. Because I'm going to need, like, 8 stacks of each. It feels like, because the concretes and the wool are going to be used the most. Here comes the hordes. Small there. Oh, there's some more there. Honestly, I can just quickly get my silk touch fixed up. And then my fortune fixed up. Then my axe fixed up. Because I might as well fix up a bunch of this stuff. I also probably need to refill that furnace with coal. In all honesty, I probably do soon. Like, I have to be close to filling it full. I'm not filling it full. I'm running out of coal. Just trying to fill this. And there's the one up there. They always do that. And as soon as they hit the glass, though, like, and get a certain distance, they see the eggs. They're just a nuisance, honestly. I like how I can use this to kind of see 3 of the directions. And I can see, like, the edge of the glass. I know we're also gonna want... Once the next update comes out, with the Happy Gas, I'm gonna want to get the Return to Sender thing again, so we can get tiers. Because I am so excited for that music disc. I do want to try and get every music disc, but we're gonna need to probably set off a little side thing for my creeper farm so that I can pull some out and then get a skeleton so I can have it shoot an arrow into the into lava that leads into a TNT that kills a bunch of creepers. And you may be thinking, Kaius, are you insane? Yes, but also it is one of the ways to get a bunch of music discs at once and easily. So I might try to set that up as well. Because I like the music discs of Minecraft and whatnot. We just need more that are just fun, and I'm glad we're getting tiers. And I still need to go through the trial chamber vaults for Precipice, because we don't have Precipice yet. Because that's one of the other music discs we're missing. So we need to go to trial chambers, Next update, we need to kill a ghast with its own fireball, and then creepers. A lot of them. Like, it's honestly kind of crazy how many we're gonna need. Oh, I probably should remove that. I always forget about that. These big ones take forever sometimes. Yeah, I can even see where some of them are. I just don't have certain things. Like, as soon as one walks close enough, it will just go do 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 do. Ugh, boy. That was the riskiest thing I've done. Here comes a whole lot. And I'll also add this so I can actually get some more EXP for my chest plate. Because always nice. And perfect. Now we have that, and I can leave those to kind of squabble amongst themselves. Like, if I go over here, I recently changed this to... Ow. Yeah, we have 17 gold blocks, and then we have all sorts of stuff. Quartz we're almost out of because I made a bunch to finish the pillars. We have a bunch of iron nuggets and a bunch of the non-stackables, which I need to go through, like the water bottles and stuff. I might just, like, get rid of. The iron boots I could have smelted, maybe, into iron nuggets, but we got a lot of leather, fire charges, string, which I used a bit of pearls. Like, we got a bunch of random stuff that we just may or may not need. So, like, we're really, like, eating good with that. I'm honestly really glad that we have gotten to the point we have. And I definitely want to get better with, like, glass work in this game. I want to set up a spider farm probably for string as well, just to have that extra bit. But another thing I also... The fuck was that? Is that the parrot? It sounded like a dink sound. Like a dink. That was ominous. Either way. This dragon egg is gonna have its own place eventually. Probably should start this as well. Mainly for my safety. I mean, like, you can see I did the pillars. I just didn't do them all the way down here because I am still designing it, but I will do more with it. This will be a greenhouse. And then this, I'm thinking about making like an observatory or something, like giant telescope and everything. Or like something. Also, that piglin right there has been there for a while now. It came from a pig getting struck by lightning. That's why it hasn't despawned. So it's been here a while. Because a random pig just happened to get struck by lightning. And lo and behold, here we are. But yeah, like I've wanted to come down here and just do this. I saw that sheep. Don't think I didn't see that, sheep. Because one of my thoughts was, like, what if I were to just, boop, go to some of these areas that we have here and just, you see how it's this giant, like, thing that I originally terraformed? What if I just went and, like, got rid of it all? Like, I've actually debated that because it's like, I mean, if I did, it might be for the better. I mean, it's just one of those things of, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But then you have areas like this where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna probably do that. But I feel like it also will just clear up a lot if I can do that. Yeah, look at this. I'm putting that there for my sake. Okay. And then I can go boom, boom, boom. I do like being able to just take out huge chunks of light like that, only to replace them with better lights. Saves so much time. Okay. Let's just quickly do this so I can see better on, like, what I need to light up. Okay, so I'm gonna want one here. Here. Definitely gonna want one here. And here. And then over here, I'm gonna want one here. And here. And oh, that's a deep cave. But yeah, I can easily, like, yeah, look at this. This will be child's play for me. Now that I kind of know, like, the basics. Okay. I'll do that. And then for these, I can just boom. There's another torch there. I just want to lower the amount of torches mainly because it's like there's so many that I just feel like I should get rid of some. It will reduce lag, it will help with all sorts of stuff. And I think it's worth it to do that. I think reducing on lag and, like, anything else like that is beneficial in this case. Okay, I got that one. There we go. That should light up a good chunk as well. Boom. Yeah, you can see certain areas that, like, Enderman affected as well. A lot better. Definitely gonna need something there. Eh. Then I can do that. But okay, break that, do that. And then I can put one here. Perfect. I mean, that's all of my glowstone for now, but it's a start. Because that is going to help them just outright reduce the amount needed. I do want to flatten this area out more as well. That's something I'm going to have to do as well off stream. I just have a lot that I need to flatten, and honestly, I probably shouldn't have moved the damn beacon back. Thinking about it, I probably shouldn't have. But we're here now. And I could just put up. And I could move these chests, or I could just add a whole new section of chests, like over there. We'll just have to see how many I can go through. Because, yeah, that's going to be like our main holdback. What was I doing again? My brain just completely blanked on. Oh, yeah, now I remember. I'm going to grab my beacon. As much as I like the regen at my base. Ah, yes. And then boom. I just need a bunch of iron. Jeez. You know, I probably could fight another, like, what's it called? Wither. Jesus, my brain did not remember what a wither was, apparently. Like, I could fight another wither to get another beacon. The issue would be getting all of the iron I need as well. Like, I should have it, but it's mainly the sake of I don't know if I do for sure. And if I fight another wither on or off stream, I don't know. I just know that I need so much stuff for some of the achievements we have. Oh yeah, some of that's gonna hopefully not fall in lava. Because if it does, that's gonna suck. I will say though, there is some things I wish I could show some of you guys. But I know very well that it also is like, I'm not gonna reveal certain things as well, but also there's certain things I just don't have the stuff to show until I can get it finished or I can get a picture. And I definitely want to. Like my doggos. I like when I like my doggos a lot. And I do sometimes share them on the Discord. If you've not joined that, I highly suggest it. I like to share them here and there. Oh my lord. But not only that, I also like to share other stuff. Like when I go live and whatnot. Shameless plug moment. But it's always one of those things of, I have the stuff, I just need it. Certain things. Ow. Anyways. That also hurt. Let's quickly just turn it from night, and I can move this beacon over. Because that is what we need to do. We're going to be doing a lot. And hell, I'm going to see how much I can get before the next time I stream this. We'll see how much I can actually get done with the time I have. We'll just have to see. With the area I need to do it, I think I'm gonna just Because, yeah, it is 4. Yeah, I don't think this matters. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Because I want to get haste too. For my sake. And yeah, I'm going to have to destroy some of that blue wool, but I don't care. And then I can just do. Oh, I bumped my mic when I went to go brush I went to go brush the hair out of my face, and I just bumped my mic hard. I am so sorry about that. And now it's off. Wrong button. It's one of those types of days. Oh. Imagine we're one off or something, and it turns out that some of it did burn. That'd be the biggest sad moment ever. But thankfully, it's not like that. However, I do need a gem of sorts. I need diamond, emerald, gold, iron, something. I actually might have some, though, over here. But, I'm gonna use the iron. I'm also gonna take this bed. I mean, at least now I know. Oh, my lord. Sorry. Then I can put this over to here. I can eat this. Get that back. And haste 2. That will help me a lot in the future of this. Let's see. Does it reach over to here? I believe it should. Nope. I thought it would have reached. I just happened to put it in a bad spot, apparently. Yeesh. I mean, it is a good spot for certain parts that I need to do, but not everything. I was really hoping that'd be at a better spot, but nope. I'll fix it. I'll do this off stream when I can. I was hoping it would reach. I always forget beacons do not have that big of a radius, which is kind of dumb. But my main thing I want to do is fix this now. Because I want it to be closer. Honestly, I'll probably just fix all of this stuff later. Honestly, I don't think I need it for the one mountain bit over there, but, like, I'm not 100% sure on that. So I'm still gonna move it there, but I'm also not freaking, like, or anything like that. I feel pretty good about it. So we should easily be able to get rid of it. Okay. And I can do this. I definitely need to fix this, though. Anyways. Okay. I have everything we need. So I will move it over to here. 2, 3. Bum. Okay. Because, yeah, it goes like this, and then boop, 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 boop. You know, I did this wrong. That's why. This is off. So is something else. 6, 6. Well, I can just easily do this. It's one of these days. It happens. Doesn't make it any less annoying, though. Anyways, let's go grab that iron ingot again. But yeah, I definitely need to get some more beacons. And by some more, I mean a lot more. And then haste, but because I can easily go through and rip this to shreds now. Either way, though, let's just quickly boom, 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 and I will remind you guys, if you're not already part of it, !dislab in the chat, where we have a wonderful community. You might make some new friends over there. Who's to say? I announce whenever I go live, if I'm sick in any way, etc., etc. I go from Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. CST is when I stream. And for the days I don't stream, !YouTube, a VOD always comes out on the VOD channel. Those Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 8 a.m. So if you ever have anything you miss on Twitch, or you might want to catch up with, that's all on YouTube. Including this Vanilla World, where you can watch the entire series. I don't know how in order it is. I know YouTube has had some issues with playlist stuff, so stuff might have gotten mixed at one point. I'm not 100% on that yet, though. I haven't had time to go through the hundreds of hours of it. I might eventually also learn a bit of stuff with editing to upload onto there as well. Other than that,